It's really unfortunate that he paints such a dire, negative picture of black communities in our country.
Well,
you know, the vibrancy of the black church, the black businesses that employ so many people, the opportunities that so many families are working to provide for their kids. There's a lot that we should be proud of and we should be supporting and lifting up.
I do want to bring up the fact that you were the one that brought up the word super predator about young black youth. And that's a term that I think was it's been horribly met, as you know. I think you've apologized for it. But I think it was a terrible thing to say.
Okay, now that was just part of the debate on race last night, the candidates discussing the black community. Let's bring in Larry Elder, Salem Radio nationally syndicated TV host. Larry, you saw that. What's your response?
I did. Well, they both, of course, talked around the big problem. You expect Democrats to do it, but you would hope that maybe with this kind of stage, Donald Trump might finally say the truth. And the truth is, the biggest problem facing the black community is not racism, it's not bad cops, it's fatherless homes. 73% of black kids are raised without a father in the home. That's up from 25% back in 1965, and it's a product of the welfare state. 60 years of incentivizing women to marry the government and allowing men to abandon their financial and moral responsibility. Now, I understand why Hillary wouldn't want to say that, but let Donald Trump say it. For once, tell the truth about what's going on in the black community.
Well, do you think that the vote or any minds in the African-American community, were they changed last night at all, do you think?
I don't think so, because Donald Trump should have talked about the fact that under Obama, black poverty is up, black net worth is down, black home ownership is down dramatically, black equity is down dramatically. The so-called wealth gap between an average white household and a black household has not been this wide in 25 years as a result of the policies of President Obama, burdening job creators. My father used to clean toilets, and he told me, I never got a job from a poor person. You take away the taxes of a rich person, they're going to spend less money on plant and equipment and hiring people. Donald Trump should have made the economic 101 argument. He had a chance to do it. He failed to do it.
Next one, Larry. Hillary was also talking about the recent racial tension in America, especially concerning police officers. Roll that tape.
Lester, I think implicit bias is a problem for everyone, not just police. I think, unfortunately, too many of us in our great country jump to conclusions about each other.
Jump to conclusions about each other. It sounded a bit like she was labeling a lot of America racist. How did it come across to you?
She was, and it's nonsense. According to the Washington Post, there were 965 people killed by the police last year. Less than 4% were white cops shooting unarmed black men. If you throw out the number of people killed by the police for justifiable reasons. Most of these involved a suspect who had a weapon, whether it was a gun, whether it was a knife, or resisting arrest, and it descended into something very violent. You are more likely to be injured by lightning. There were 400 people who were injured by lightning last year, and therefore you are more likely to be injured by lightning than you are to be killed by a cop unjustifiably. Furthermore, murders are up in 25 of the 100 largest cities, and that's a function of demonizing the police officers who are pulling back, and the bad guys, mostly young gang-related people, are aware of that, and as a result, other black people are being killed. The very people that the Black Lives Matter people Hillary purports to care about are being injured by maligning cops, and therefore cops saying, okay, I'm not going to be proactive, I'll just do 911 calls, and that's all I'm going to do, and black people, as a result, are being hurt because of it.
In the last two elections, the African-American vote has gone way more than 90% for the Democrat candidate, President Obama.
Right.
Do you think, have you seen any evidence to suggest that the black vote will not go quite so heavily for Hillary Clinton this time around?
I was hopeful, and hopefully Donald Trump will do something in these next two debates. Again, because overwhelmingly the reason black people voted for Obama is not because he's black, is because he's a left-wing Democrat and black. Primarily they voted for him because they thought he was going to improve the economy. And as I've just pointed out, the economy, by most measures, and don't go by me, Tavis Smiley had an interview with you, Stuart, I remember it.
Yep.
And even he conceded that by most of these metrics, the black economy has receded, not improved, receded.